Okay, look, well, I will be honest that I do not wish to be blasphemous in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying hard to find a place to put the blessed, ever-loving camera down. If I do, then God dang it! God dang it! I'm actually going to refrain from using the god dang word of god dang ever again, god dang it, because god dang it, I don't even know why I'm making this video, to be honest. Prior to taking out the camera and recording this, I did a lot of god danging and carrying on, and thought it would be really hilarious, and maybe if I just go get the camera and make a god dang video, god dang it, the god dang and god dang in it, it would have been quite funny, but it's lost all its god dang energetic, god dang, god danging it, that would have made it god dang funny. So instead, I'm just going to do a philosophical musing and talk about the god dang fluorescent light bulbs, god dang them. Because god dang, look at them, god dang fucking blue, that god dang fucking fluorescent god dang light is god danging fluorescing lighting my god dang infrastructure in which part I live, god dang it. Fuck, we've had some big storms here today too. I'm gonna have a taste of this. God dang, that's good gravy. I do make a good gravy. I have to god dang admit. God dang it. Okay. Try and science some shit and stuff and shit. God dang it, that god dang lightning is still god dang carrying on like a god dang lightning storm. And I don't even have a southern accent. Did you see that? Look at that. Look at that. Some motherfucker did that to my arm last night while I was sleeping. I went to bed. Come on, you can do this. You can do it. Hold steady. Hold steady. Come on. Yeah, goddamn. Right up. Fuck's sake. That's not what I said. Don't show my fat belly. Come on. So this motherfucker. I said that I don't want to show the world my fat belly. That's right. I woke up. It was covered in blood. I had blood everywhere. It was all over my hand too. I'm like, what the fuck? God dang it. I think maybe I might have reached such a state of inebriation yesterday that fuck the. You can't do that, man. I'm making a video. Fuck's sake, just do the right thing. Right. I don't know how that happened. No idea. I can only assume that as I got more and more inebriated, I may or may not have done myself a mishap. And as I went to bed, that, nah, maybe in my sleep I just scratched the fuck out of myself, and that makes more sense. Or chupacabra could have possibly done it. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the nature of light. So this fluorescent light, see how it glows blue? No, you don't, because it's actually glowing white. It's like a white saber light. Like, say if I was a Jedi Master and I had a saber type thing, and just say was blue. That's what it looked like. It'll look white because it's blue. That's why when we look out in the daytime and we see a blue sky, it looks white. I know. I can hear you saying, but. Look, I'm just going to have to put the rest of the leftovers back in the fridge. And now we can come back and wonder where the fuck did we leave our beer? Fuck no. For a moment there, one of us thought we could have had a conversation without even having a beer. So we'll have a beer. Fucking cheers, eh? The fuck? Any moment now. Yes. Rightio. So that took away all the godlike powers I thought I had from that beer, because that fucking potholder couldn't even sit on a hook. So we're discussing why the sky appears blue. Well, one of us is. The listener really basically has no idea what I'm talking about. So, it does boggle the mind as that, do I even have any idea what I'm waffling about? And technically, no, I don't. I just make it up as I go. Why the fuck does that feel so hot? It's like it's also like the hot plate. It's only got an on and off. I put it to 123.4 degrees, and the fucking thing wants to heat up like it's 250. I just want you to just gently warm up. Give it time, you know. You put the hot plate on for the gravy, and man, it just wants to go from 0 to 2,000 in freaking 3 minutes. I was like, that hot plate don't do that. Why does that hot plate do that? I don't know. Everything's a mystery, but that's the way the world works. Fluorescence of that bulb and the frequency of the light that is fluoresced through that fluorescent tube is due to the concentration. The concentration of the number of the noble gases, or the amount of the noble gases that are collected and put into that tube before it's sealed off. And then when, it's got those two little nibs at either end, which when you put it into the tube setting and then you twist it, each one of those has a positive and negative, a red and a black, electrical source going into it, which also has a little starting capacitor thing, for want of a better term. I don't even know what you call it, except for we just call it the starter that you have to put into every fluorescent thing. It sort of becomes a regulator of the amount of electrical conductivity that can stimulate those gases to give them the fluorescence that they give to us. I think I'm maybe talking some sort of amount of common sense. I wouldn't fucking know. It's New Year's Eve, baby. Right, so the amount of gases in the fluorescent tube and what determines the spectrum of light that it will give off when they fluoresce. So say, for example, I just had neon in it. Then if I just had neon in the tube, it would just glow one of the variances of neon that I expect. And so I strongly suspect that not all neon lights are just neon, because we do see multiple different colours in neon lighting, and that has totally fucked up my whole fucking rant. Yeah, okay. Anyway, happy fucking New Year. At least we can have a beer, right? But while we're at it, we'll discuss that neon bulb anyway, because when I moved into this house, right, it had your ordinary fluorescent light bulbs, and they give off that yucky yellowish glow. This one here, it is a 50-50, they call it 50-50 blue light in the aquarium perspective gradient fluorescent. It's a blue light, and it's called a 50-50 blue light, which makes it look like natural. Spit it out, spit it. Daylight. Normal daylight. That's what that tube is specifically designed for. So when you put it over your aquarium, the plants will get the right amount of spectrum of light to grow. The fish will look as pretty as you can possibly get them to look at when they're held in captivity in a tiny little prison and all that sort of stuff. So throughout the last few days, I've basically wasted a shit ton of time talking on Facebook, talking about spectrums of light, goddamn, you name it. I waste my fucking time doing that, and that's pretty much what I'm doing now as well. But at the end of the day, I think it's not a total waste of time, because some people might sort of gain a little bit of information that in their future days will help them understand things like the nature of light, the nature of perspective. Like see that light behind me there, that one there, it is just as parallel to the ground as this one here. They are both parallel. They are both hanging from the same ceiling. They are both the same height. And yet this one's only at my shoulder and this one's right above my head. They are the same height. So as soon as you start to understand a little bit about perspective, perspective is subjective to the eye of the viewer. So if, for example, I climbed up on a ladder here and stood up, I can do it to a little degree, because I do have a tiny little step ladder here. And this will kind of give you a bit of a rough idea that they are both on the same level. You know, just because it looks higher here and that looks lower doesn't mean it is lower. And it doesn't mean that, you know, like the higher we get, the more you start to understand how they're still on the same level and parallel to one another. See, but the average globetards, and I feel not the slightest inclination of naughtiness for using that word, because he's a fucking globetard, fucking mental moron, is that those parallel lines, even though they get more distant, will make it look as though they're getting lower and lower, or higher and higher. They're not. They're not. They are parallel to the same flat surface that we live upon. Always. Always. I don't care. Like, just because something looks that way, oh look, is that light rising over me? No, it's not. It is perspective. Perspective can be a little bit tricky to understand when you first start trying to understand it, but it's not that fucking hard once it's been explained. That something getting further away from you will appear to get lower. And so it's not the sun setting. It is not the light setting. That light has not gone beneath my head. Oh, look at that. Oh no, it's lower than me. It's perspective. Okay, so with convergence, in convergence, my head has converged in front of that light. It has not meant that that light has gone physically lower than my head. And it does not mean now that it has physically risen. It's stayed in the same spot. See? Sunset. Sunrise. Globeheads have got no concept whatsoever of how perspective works. And it's really sad and almost frightening to think that they will use that argument vehemently to prove their case. They will vehemently argue, how can the sun go below the horizon? Sun below the horizon. This is globetardery 101. I think it's time for a beer. I think I had a point to make about this video, but I think I might have made it. That's it. Happy New Year, everybody.